Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are back for another match of Super Rugby Pacific. This one, the Waratahs taking on the Reds. And if it is anything like that last game that we just saw between the Crusaders and the Highlanders, it may be a pretty hectic one. That one was a close finish. It looks like a decent-ish day in Sydney for this contest, although a little bit dark above, but it is night time. But Waratahs taking on the Reds here. Two sides that have got plenty of potential for the Super Rugby Pacific season. It's just whether or not they put together results early to get them in a great position to go on and get some victories. Looking through at the starting lineup, starting with the home side, the Waratahs. It is Thomas Lambert in the front row alongside Dobbins and Daniel Botha as the number 3. Matt Phillips slots in as the captain and Miles Amatasero as the 5. Then Halaholo as the number 6, Charlie Gamble number 7, and Pete Samu at number 8. That is a dangerous loose forward trio. A lot of power in that department, and they'll be trying to win those breakdown battles up against a dangerous Reds loose forward trio. Jake Gordon and Lawson Creighton will be the 19 combo. Max Jorgensen, the dangerous man, out on the left wing side. Joey Walton and Joseph Akuso Suali'i in the midfield. Harry Potter out on the right, and James Hendren as the number 15 for the Reds. Aidan Ross, Matt Faisler, and Zainul Gore up front. Josh Canham and Lucan Salakai-Alotto in that locking duo. Joe Bryle, Fraser McWright, the turnover machine, and also scored a few tries at opportune times last year. And then Latu slots in as that number 8. Wershawn alongside Harry McLaughlin Phillips. In that 19 combo, Tim Ryan, the Bulldog, out on the left wing. Paisami and Josh Fluke as the middle 2. And then Lockie Anderson and Jock Campbell close out the Reds backline. They are missing Tate McDermott due to injury. They also don't have Harry Wilson, I believe, also due to injury. And no Tom Liner either at this stage of the season. But those are the starting lineups, ladies and gentlemen. We've got a few people in the chat already. We've got it's our yes, says Highlanders fan. Yeah, fantastic win for the Landers there up against the Crusaders. Well done, Highlanders. Crusaders not great, says Ruth. And I've never been more happy, says Highlanders fan. And come on, says Buddy Rides. And also Tahs are incredibly good, but I'm behind the Reds today, says Ruth. And what happens if it's a draw? If it is a draw, we go to golden point time, which can be thoroughly entertaining. And then if it's a draw after that, I believe it's just ruled as a draw. But they do have that potential of going to extra time to try and find some sort of result. And that's what we've seen not too often since Super Rugby Pacific's start, but it's happened a few times. I think the Reds have gone to golden point from memory. They were up against the Hurricanes, and Pasilio Tossi managed to score the last try to break up that game. Looking through at pre-season for these two sides, the Reds had their close game up against the Western Force. They went on to lose that one, 21 points to 19. They then lost to the Waratahs badly in pre-season, 49-19. Now, that doesn't quite give us an indication of how this match is going to go, but it certainly does bode quite nicely for the Waratahs, who were also able to get the win over the Brumbies in that 98-point thriller for Super Rugby pre-season on a Thursday night, 50 points to 48. In fact, I think it was an afternoon game, that kickoff, but a hectic game nonetheless. And now, these two sides go face-to-face again. These are the head-to-head results from last year. The Waratahs went at home last season. They lost 21-28. They were then beaten by the Reds in Queensland 35-15. So they don't have the best record up against this Reds team, but they're favourites heading into this contest. And after pre-season, seem like they're going in the right direction for this competition. We have got there, can I call you Uncle Hamish? Hamish is just, it's much easier really. I'm not that old, I don't think. Can you bet against Harry Potter, says Ruby. Aidan Ross, rugby player. Aidan Ross over the streamer. So you're going with the rugby player over the streamer, I assume. That case was Casey Good, missed the game. He was all right. He was solid enough, I think. He had some good moments. I do also think, though, that the Highlanders as a whole, their breakdown work was just formidable throughout that contest up against the Crusaders. Crusaders probably dropped the ball 20 times. So, that was the brutal part of the game that made them really deserve to lose, and they almost still won, which is the crazy thing about it. I mentioned near the end of that game that the Crusaders, as badly as they played, the fact that they're still in the running for that game says a lot about that team. But yeah, we'll wait and see what happens there. But yeah, hectic game to start off the competition, that is for sure. And Tahs for the win at home, says Jan Lu. And Josh Fluke, another upcoming star, says Ruth. And I am looking forward to this one, says Yanlu. Yeah, it should be a great game, hopefully, with some sort of, I'd say, eventfulness in this contest. Second, we'll go like that. We go like that as well. But they are just showing James Hendren, one of the 7 players in the match day 23, making their Waratahs debut. There are a lot of changes in this Waratahs team, and I would say some for the better. Some, at the same time, are just a wait-and-see situation. Who's going to be able to draw first blood here? I think the Tahs might strike quick, but it's whether or not the Reds start to find the rhythm after that. Do you remember me, that Glasgow fan? I'm a Brumbies fan in Super Rugby, says Kahu. We certainly do. Yeah, Brumbies in action tomorrow. That is up against the Western Force. Yeah, just having the moment's silence before the game. I will mention the games in Australia, they have it scheduled for 9:35, but I believe the time that the game normally actually starts is 9:40 or 9:45. It's a little bit later. What team do you support? I don't really have a team, believe it or not. I'm just happy watching the Super Rugby, to be fair. Do the Tahs have a chance here? Well, they come in as favourites for this contest, which is actually quite impressive for this side. So, you know, I would say absolutely, but it all depends on what happens when they take to the field. As we saw, the Tahs did lose twice last year to the Reds. And also, push like and subscribe, peeps. Just don't do a frisbee. Or sorry, do a freebie. And we have got their Reds, let's do this. Tough Aussie Outbacks Kangaroo, says Ruth. And who's the moment silence for? I actually am not... I think I heard Shark Attack. I heard Shark Attack, but now I think they're also doing it for the Bondi side of things too. So I think there might be 2 different things that they're doing it for, unless I just randomly heard Shark Attack. And it might not have been the case. I was talking relatively loud. So did you see Germany beat Romania? I didn't. But it's a big win. And the thing is, Romania are one of those interesting teams that hopefully, you know, they do all right in that Rugby World Cup when it comes around. But there's going to be some very tough groups. And we have got the come on, folks, at their lights button. Says Ruth there. Okay, they're just saying there actually there were players who passed away as well. There was 3 shark attacks in the last month in Australia, says Seller. And now Paul Williams, he is going to be the referee in charge of this one. We'll go like this. Go like that as well. There we go. Right, we're ready to go. Hopefully the scoreboard is going to be behaving itself as well. A decent crowd for this game. I think there's almost more watching this game in New South Wales than they probably had for Dunedin. As you don't read messages, says Mohadim. Which one did I miss? I didn't mean to miss one. I think I've missed about 5 though. Hamish supports Springboks. Hope Andre Pollard playing. I support Pollard. Says Mohadim is the one that you message that I didn't manage to read. But now getting ready to go for this contest as we are only moments away from the kickoff. Hudson Creighton will kick us off. In fact, sorry, it's Lawson Creighton. And this game underway, the first Aussie contest of Super Rugby Pacific for this season. Howdy all. Just watching the end of Oz versus Zimbabwe, close one. Are Australia still 4 down, Thuts Rays, or did they lose a couple wickets along the way? Now kicked high from inside of the 22 for Wershon. Now off to the right-hand side, Jake Gordon, one of the key members of this Waratahs side for 2026. It's the beginning of the year. Waratahs optimism is at a high, says Sash. Yeah, I mean, all sides do have high optimism right at the start of the year. It's what happens in the next kind of 2 or 3 months that really ends up making the difference. And we have got there, Dan Pursley, got to go Tahs. I got a draw, says the AA underdog pick, and 106 for 5. Oz needs 60 from 33. Oh, that's still a few, isn't it? But, like, the thing is, Aussie back deep. But it would be a huge win for Zimbabwe if they were able to somehow get over the line. Now back across, Hunter by Sami. A little short pass to Lukan Salakai Lotto, who's tackled round the halfway line. Almost a steal in the breakdown from the Tahs. In fact, they're still going for it, and they do get themselves the penalty there. Nicely done. Okay, winning that ball cleanly. It was, in the end, I think Ethan Dobbins. I read the Reds captain, I need the Reds captain and the Tahs winger score for my fantasy team. So you going with Harry Potter or Max Jorgensen? I'd assume Jorgensen out of those two Tahs wingers. And then Fraser McWright it's an interesting choice. But I think you get some sort of points for like breakdown work and whatnot, wouldn't you? In that regard, rather than just for like tries and everything like that. He also makes a lot of tackles, Fraser McWright. So he should be all right in that regard too. But now line out throw for Ethan Dobbins, the man who did win the penalty for his side. It's one of about 25 metres out now from the line. It goes up and it's over. It's knocked on by Lukan Salakai-Lotto. Sits up for Harry Potter. Was at the Western Force for a little bit of time. South African women's cricket playing today. Says Mohadin. I didn't actually realise that they had a game for today. I didn't actually know that there was much cricket taking place outside of that T20 World Cup. Was Suali'i tackled 20 metres out from the try line. Back across to the right. Gordon with the quick hands. Phillip now moving it on to the right-hand side. Skip pass out wide. Goes to Jorgensen. Too big fence. Tries to pass it on the inside, but it's going to be cleaned up by Tim Ryan. McWright would be my full 7. Or would be my 7 in a full strength Anzac 15. There's the Sporting Kiwi. Yeah, see, he's one of those players that I still find it surprising when people don't rate him. Because he's just got so much talent. Oh, big charge down from Matt Phillip. And on a given day, like you said, like full strength wise, like he can be one of the best in the world in that position. Did you see Proteas versus Afghanistan? Mental game? Yeah, the fact that it went to a double super over is just crazy. But I guess, like, the fact that South Africa won that, after that first super over, I just didn't see a way that they were going to lose the second one. And then, they tried to make it close. Those 3 sixes in a row made it interesting at the end. A lot of pressure at the moment coming on this red side. Oh, referee says, go back. Okay, he wants it set up in the right manner. Wilson better, to be honest. Yeah, although Wilson doesn't play 7 much. Now ready to throw this one. And also injured at the moment, Harry Wilson, but he will be taking that number 8 jersey back off Latu, I'd assume, when he does come back in. A massive fan of Latu. Also play, or only because his dad from Otara, but he can play, says Nazi. Now rolling ball here for Waratahs. It's slowly moving. I think I just heard the commentator say the Brumbies. He's had a bit of a blunder already now. Short side, Suali'i gets only a couple metres out from the line. Do Argentina visit Australia this year? Not that I know of yet, but they will have to find some sort of matches, seeing as New Zealand and South Africa ruin the calendar year. Now, 3 metres out from the try line. Oh, I'm back round. That was Charlie Gamble, only a couple metres out. Under penalty advantage now for the Waratahs as well. Now, searching for this ball. It's going to come out the back. Pete Samu, he'll be lurking this close to the try line. That looks like they're either held up. Yep, they are. So it is going to go back for the initial penalty. Yo-Yo, my class just ended. Says Taiwan. Tell you what, Ty, you missed a hectic game between the Crusaders and the Highlanders. That one was back and forth all over the place. I won't tell you the result just in case you want to go back and watch that one. But yeah, hectic finish in that regard. Who won? Do you want to know? Like, it will be a spoiler if I tell you. But I can if you like. I put that in the book. Says the AI underdog pick. Now one's going to be thrown into a Matasero. Now rolling ball. About 5 metres out from the line now for the Tahs. Been told to use it now for Paul Williams off the back of the maul. At least warning Gordon to go. Now goes to Harry Potter. 5 metres out from the try line. 26 and 23. Says Mohadin. And odd 6 wickets down. 53 from 28. See, that's still tricky. It's no way easy. I might have to get it up on a little second screen so that I can see what's happening in that game too. But Joey Walton, short little pass to to Joseph. Of course, Suali'i. Looks like a stealing opportunity for Hunter Paisami though. And wasn't able to quite do it. Thomas Lambert runs it forward, trying to get the steal on the breakdown with Josh Canham. I think he's done enough to get that. Yes, he has, so they will go back once again for another penalty here. Okay, previous offside. 2 offsides here. It's almost last warning already for this red side. Next player goes to the bin. We're only 6.5 minutes into this game. So not ideal if you are the Reds here. Harry Potter magic, says Ruth. And Harry Potter, what a name. Yeah, although he was born, I think it was after the books, but the books hadn't taken off at the time that he was named Harry Potter. So it was coincidence. There wasn't any sort of wizardry enjoyment from his parents that made them decide that, yep, that'll do. Nice take from Amato Cero again. He's asking for a penalty there for the pre-engagement from the Reds, but they have managed to drag down the Tahs just 1 metre short of the line. Right, Gamble's lurking here. He wants that ball. Is he going to go for it himself? No, around the side instead. It's going to be his Tahs teammate. He flattens. Try is awarded. It might be Pete Samu. Yes, it is. He pops up with the try, celebrating it big time. And number 8 for the Waratahs, coming to the club after being at the brunt. Wait, no, is that Pete Samu? I don't think it is. That might not be Pete Samu. No, it's not. Sorry, it's Halahola. He's popped up with the ball. That is why you do not assume who is underneath that rolling maul. It's something that we see Samu do for the Brummies, but no, it's the blindside flanker. I don't even know if Pete Samu... Oh, no, he's way out wide. I just saw him in the replay. Who's the ref? It is Paul Williams in this one. That's the funny part, says Nazi. Yeah, the fact that there's no similarity in terms of why he's named Harry Potter with the books, it's probably very annoying for him. Hopefully he at least likes the series. Because if he's a big fan, then that's good in a way. It'd be yeah, my name, it's the same as that. But if he doesn't like them, which he probably doesn't because he's probably sick of the comparison, it's probably quite annoying. But the kick has gone over from Lawson Creighton. That is going to make the score 7-0 in favour of the Waratahs, but it was Halahola managed to score it. Are you saying Harry Potter manifested as a rugby player? Interesting. Says Ruby there. Something like that. I'm going in an hour, English full Monty breakfast. What's a full Monty breakfast as compared to just an English breakfast, Ruth? What's a Monty? I actually don't know. Oh, nice take from Halahola. Now, it's going to be a rolling maul attempt, or even a little half one, I'd say, from the Waratahs there. Oh, big fem from Harry Potter. He's inside of his own 22, but a good early lead here for the Waratahs. Now, going off to Matt Phillip, the skipper. Just the 22 metres out from the try line. Being told to use it once more. Oh, Paul Williams already saying there that we're not going to be doing that on the ground. So obviously someone was doing a little bit of push and shove there. Now told to use it as there was a knock on in favour of the Reds. Away side in possession of the ball. 9 minutes gone already. That first game between the Crusaders and the Highlanders went extremely fast. This game looks like it is going to be no different. Now, it's going to be available. Suali'i goes across. There's some real pace in this Tahs backline. That is the youngster James Hendren in the 15 jersey. They're firing it away. Lambert, no look pass from Potter. Chipping behind from Max Jorgensen, trying to win the foot race, get the bounce of the ball. It doesn't quite fall into his grasp, and Lukan Salakai Lotto covers a bit of ground down the wing to get that position back. Told to use it again for Jock Campbell. Finds himself situated at 15 for this contest. Told to use it again, the youngster Wershon. Oh, going up. Oh, Lambert just got kicked in the head by his teammate. It's a whole bang caboodle. Eggs, bacon, sausages, baked beans, tomatoes, mushroom, toast, butter, marmalade. I have a castle lager. Monty is huge big. Wait, so does the castle lager, does that come with the breakfast, or you're buying a beverage with the breakfast separate? Now halfway line, Jake Gordon. Oh, a little bit of wrestling going on, and a breakdown, and the penalty won by the Reds. Ball not coming out. Blue hands on the ground. And can I get that on my tab? Says the underdog pick. One's kicked into touch. 11 minutes through this contest, and this is the best attacking chance that the Reds have had of this game. Now, all big decisions from Zane and Gore in terms of where to go with Matt Faisler. The full Monty is when you order a meal, you take everything, or in this case of strippers, when they take everything off. Right, okay. So does it just mean you eat everything then, in that case? Now, going forward, side entry penalty against the Waratahs is brewing. The Reds now waiting to search for this ball. It's kind of stuck in that rolling maul a little bit. Comes out the back, Wershon goes across to Hunter Paisami. Low tackle made on him by Charlie Gamble, and there is a knock-on on the ground, so they go back for another penalty. Hamish, give your number on YouTube. My number on YouTube is what's my number on YouTube? Like my YouTube number? Is that a thing? Exactly everything and more. Says Ruth. That one's going to be kicked into touch. Joining more incorrectly, going against the Waratahs. 6 metres out from the try line now. Chance for Matt Faisler to be able to throw this one in. This is where the rolling ball can be extremely dangerous for this Red side. Going to the front, nicely taken by Josh Canham. Oh, this one's gone down again. It's come out the back. I think the ref said that they've done enough to sack that one legally, so the scrum feed will be the way of the Waratahs. That's good defence. 5 metres out from their own line, and probably had to be done too. We have got there, where's my Uso sock, says Nas. And we have got there your cell phone number, says Mahadine. I don't know if that's a good idea, because I feel like I will get a whole heap of prank calls if I did any sort of releasing of said number. Plus, I'm terrible at replying to text messages. At the moment, I have 30 unread on my phone. The last one that I didn't read was from Spark. They told me that I can buy more extras for my cell phone plan. Cheers, Hamish. G'day all. Welcome in, David. We are doing extremely well. It's good to see you. Start a Super Rugby again. Right. Sounds like there's a bit of chatter going on at the moment. Oh, and another penalty. Oh, sorry, free kick that is. Going the way of the Tahs. Reds just letting this one slip a little bit in the early stages of the contest, and they did in fact slip in the scrum as well. Just trying to get themselves down the field. It's hilarious. How come? Oh, how's the score? Come on, Reds, try harder, says Ruth there. Yeah, you'd expect them to have started firing by now for this Red side. They're just saying there that he's focused on the Reds, but of course he is appointed as the head coach of the Wallabies in the relatively near future. I'm talking about my paint gun, says Sock. I have used one of those. They're quite fun. I painted a whole fence with like a big sprayer thing, and it was quite fun. But Waratahs claiming that one. There's a knock-on advantage in their favour as well. And now, ball is in the hands of the Reds once more. So rather than my cell phone, you want my address. See, that seems worse than the cell phone in terms of like, because that way people will show up rather than anything else. Ball's claimed at the back by the Waratahs yet again. That one's kicked high by Harry Potter. Wasn't able to claim it. And Hamish, what time do the Pommies play? Says Joe. So England plays Scotland. I think it's 5:45 or 4:45. One of those two. 1 second. England versus Scotland. They're playing at 5:40, sorry. Now, oh, good run from Lockie Anderson. A couple of fours, says their underdog pick. And hey, David Opal as well, mate, says Nas. And I read that one, didn't I? And Zane catch from Zimbabwe. Oz 7 down, 39 from 14. That's hard to get. Like, that would actually be relatively challenging depending on who they've got in. Now, we're Sean short side. Goes to Hunter Paisami. Still moving. And this one going around Lukan Sarakai Lotto. Now Josh Fluke tackles low. Oh, looks like there's a bit of an injury in back play as well here for the Reds. Only 10 phases in though, and it looks like, yeah, real sore head for Harry McLaughlin Phillips. Does not look happy at the moment. They're just not letting them through the Tahs. They're solid in the defensive line. If they can defend like this throughout the whole season, they will be a pretty tough team to be able to get through. Is this the last game today? It is, yes. And then tomorrow we've got about probably 7 or 8 games that we're going to be covering. Got 2 windows open, this and the songs. And the next one, no disrespect at all. And to be fair, if I was better at multitasking, I would listen to music in the background while doing these streams as well, but I just end up listening to the song and then forgetting to speak. So I can't really do it. Thanks, Amy, says Joe Man. Sounds like it became T20, says the AA underdog pick. Right, another penalty going the way of the Waratahs. At the moment, it's that ill discipline, it would seem. Just hit a player on the ground, says Paul Williams. What's up with Super Rugby content? Been over an hour since the Landers Crusaders and still no highlights on their channel. Really? That seems surprising. Because normally they used to get it up relatively close to after the game, didn't they? I wonder if it's up now. I bet you if I search for it, they would have just uploaded it like 3 seconds ago. You ready? Super Rugby. Oh, okay. Highlights on Sky Sport NZ 42 minutes ago. They got the highlights from the first round. So maybe that's where they're doing them now rather than Super Rugby Pacifics. As, yeah, they haven't got anything on there. But 42 minutes ago, they had it on Sky Sport NZ. Oh, running this one forward. It's going to break at the line here for the Reds round the halfway. 18 minutes in, still 7-0 for the Waratahs. Aidan Ross. The halfway line. Where's Sean? Goes back to Harry McLaughlin Phillips. Looks like he's recovered from that little bit of a knock that he took earlier on in the contest. And mate Gandhi will rap love and peace, no drill, says Nazi. Ruth, that's a wild pickup line, but a good one. Was that the one? I think I read it in my head about the bodyguard situation, didn't I? But yeah, I didn't read it out, but might need one. So I'll keep you in mind, Ruth. I love that. I hate drill too much. Testosterone. When the cops roll up, shush, says Sock. Now line out here for Matt Faisler. Oh, slap back onto the side of the Reds. Osney 33 from 10. That's a lot. And what I'm going to do is you've tempted me into it. I'm going to go into the multi-view. I'm going to go picture in picture. What channel is it on? Is it on Sky Sport 2? Now going short side here for the Reds. They end up with the turnover though. The Waratahs beautifully stolen. And they've somehow managed to pull off getting that ball. Right, I've got it in the little corner. I see that it's Allison Renshaw in at the moment, but the Waratahs currently on the attack with a Matasero. He looks for an offload and gives the ball away to Joe Bryle. Just seems like at the moment that neither side want the possession, but Tim Ryan's got pace and he's got finishing to go with it too. And the Reds managed to score it off the break 20 minutes into the game. That is a brilliant try right there. Hey, Mr. Kiwi, just another friendly reminder. My mum is still single, hey, just saying. How old's your mum, Taiwan? Out of curiosity, is she around? Well, she won't be around my age, I don't think, unless you're 6. But you're studying, aren't you? So I don't know what to say now. I was like, do I say something that sounds bad? Do I say thanks for trying to set me up with your mum? Like, that's an interesting sentence. 36 is Taiwan. She's not that much older than me, to be fair, but Zimbabwe all over Oz. Yeah, looks like they're going to win that game. the Zimbabwean. Does your mum know about this channel though, Ty, or have you just tried to set her up with an internet stranger without her actually knowing anything about it? That one's missed a weighted aside. The Reds now sitting 7 points to 5 now in this contest. Matty Renshaw's just got out. Australia are going to lose their game, by the way. You can be my pops for real, for real. No, she knows about you. Does she? What do you tell her? I watched this random fella on the internet, and I want him to be my stepdad. But 19 minutes from half time here. I am Hamish's mother, says Ruth. Oh, sorry, that was Nov, Mum. Is that a big deal in T20? That's a very big deal. Australia would have been huge favourites heading into that contest. Don't get me wrong, Zimbabwe are a decent team, but they weren't supposed to beat the Australians. They say, Mum, here's your future husband. I can hook you up. Surely you don't say that to your mum, do you? She can? No. 26-36, Hamish is laughing, says Ruth. Pete Samu just knocking that ball on for the Waratahs. It's going to become a scrum feed now. I do for real. An RH, they solid. Says they are underdog pick. Yeah, like they're a top, for me, they're a top 10 team, aren't they, Zimbabwe? Like they're probably a team that, in terms of the grouping, we're going to be able to maybe sneak in. But they weren't supposed to beat the Aussies. I can tell you that right now. In terms of those odds and everything. But they've played a really good game by the looks of it. Good grief, Hamish. Someone setting you up with a cougar. I respect Simon Pride, says Naz Williams. Nah, trust the process, Hamish. Now watch out for the older women, Hamish. They're dangerous. Is that from experience, is it, Ruth? That's a penalty now to the Reds. That's the knee going down for the Waratahs. Oh, that's another wicket. That's another wicket for Zimbabwe. Which means Australia pretty much can't win that game now. And they might get bowled out. That one's going to be kicked in a touch now by the Reds. OB at the end, my bad, says Naz. All Blacks and South Africa are going to face each other in 4. TSP 3 in South African. I love cougars, says Nazi. Like the animals, Nazi, of course, is the one you're talking about, isn't it? Big cats. Now Matty Faisler. Ready to throw it in again. Nicely popped up to the front. And that's going to be now sitting 22 metres out from the line. Chance for the Reds, but there is a foot in touch. It's now going to make it a line out for the Tahs. 29 from 6 with 1 wicket in hand. We call that a Warriors chance. Says Studs Race. This is the funniest chat ever, Gur. Says Ruth. Are we turning Hamish into a toy boy? Oh, he is actually a rugby oracle, but hey, it's Friday. The fact that the USA T20 team have a whole 2 USA players is diabolical. Yeah, but it's all about like how people can qualify for teams. Like if you qualify for one, you might as well play for them. You know? But, you know, they went all right in their game up against India. That first bowling start was solid enough. See, we'll go like this. We will go like that as well. And Fair says Taiwan. And there too. Like that and like that. My Sky has decided that now I'm trying to go back from multi-screen mode. It doesn't like me. There we go. Our cat just had a sky raisin. Cat just had a sky raisin. Now, I'm not hip with the terminology. What does that mean? Because what that sounds like is you've chucked a raisin up in the air and your cat has caught it. In which case, get that cat in some sort of talent show because that is a skill. But, what is a cat raisin? Oh, sorry, a sky raisin. Now, short side here for the Reds. Into the hands of Brile. They're moving around quite nicely, the Reds here. Ever since getting that try, it seems like that's the one that's built their confidence just that little bit more. So we'll go like this as well. Another knock on there. We'll go back, born and bred in Ponsonby, England. Street then moved to Grey Lynn. Then to Paul moved away. So here's Nazi. And slowly but surely. I get that cat in a talent show quite of the day, I'm telling you, says Taiwan. Do you have a cat, Taiwan? Or you and your mother have a cat? I don't mind cats. My cat popped up on the channel every once in a while, Sky and Raisin. So your cat caught a fly in its mouth. Is that what you're saying? Because still, get it in a talent show if it's got a skill like that. I possibly can do that, but not very easily, and nor that I don't think I want to either. No, we don't, says Taiwan. That's okay. We can get a cat later. Unless you're allergic to cats, that would probably not be the best idea. Now, pack weights, 896 for the Waratahs, 898 for the Reds. I wasn't quite flying, more like spinning, says Jasmine there. Oh, good run forward here from the Tahs, moving up to the halfway line, getting absolutely slammed down on the halfway line there. Now back across to the right, Joey Walton. No, I'm not, they're cute for real, says Taiwan. Now Dobbins, that looked a little high. Looked like he got struck on the jaw from Lukan Salakai Lotto. Not as cute as how you and my mum will look, though. Jake got a good inside ball to Max Jorgensen. Do your mum have Instagram? I can't ask that to someone, can I? Going off to the left-hand side now, Harry Potter. Thought about the flick pass on the outside. Doesn't quite use it. Okay, so we're using the word cat now, says David. Okay, Zimbabwe wins. Great day. Come on, the Reds, says Studs Race. Yeah, it's been a day for the underdogs at this point in time. Now Gordon goes across. Now off to the right-hand side. Advantage called by Paul Williams. Moving away to the right. Oh, he wasn't ready for that ball, but he's done well to take it, Hendren. Catch flies easily, but this fly spray does the job. Did anyone ever get one of those, like one of those salt sprayer things for flies? Like that, and it just gets them? I feel like I wouldn't have the aim to be able to do that. They're just showing here the work and the breakdown, just straight down with their hands from Josh Canham. Could have got himself penalised straight off the get-go, and did. Gangsters here in Cape Town. That's why I'm a Hurricanes fan, sad life. Could have been Blues guys, says Sock. Looks like they're called for the scrum again here, the Waratahs. One second, we'll go like this. And like that as well. So currently, the Tahs are favourites. They were favourites at the start of this game. They're a little bit more of a favourite now, as you kind of expect. Hugh says the AO underdog picks. Depends how can hit it or can hit with it, make flames with it. Well, there you go. Hello, Hamish says, Brandon, welcome in, Brandon. Hope you're doing extremely well. 29 minutes into this contest, quite close between these two sides, which, to be fair, it was probably going to be the first time that these two sides played in New South Wales. Last year it was. There's another penalty to the Waratahs. Right, scrum is the call. Now engaging in the scrum, 10 metres out from the try line. We have got the good old tennis racket zapper thingy does the job. George actually bought one of those from Mitre 10. And then from there, it didn't work at all. Like, he got it. I'm not going to tell that story. Never mind. I just remembered why he got it. But now, going forward here with the scrum for the Waratahs, it's nothing bad. It's just quite funny, but it sounds bad. Going off to the right-hand side for Jorgensen. He's pushed it a touch. She's 35, turning 35. Well, that's not how it works. That makes things better. Wait, no, I assume that's turning 36, right? Oh, yeah, 36 says Taiwan. Mr. Kiwi Sir, aka Pops, do you have IG? I can give it to my mum. I mean, we do have a Kiwi Lads Instagram, which we do plug on the channel quite a bit, ladies and gentlemen. We'll put it in the comments. Why not? This is the Kiwi Lads Instagram, as you guys know. Wait, what is the Kiwi Lads Instagram? I can't even remember it. I haven't plugged it anywhere near enough. This is not just for his mum to follow, ladies and gentlemen. Everyone be sure to follow us on the Instagram because I always forget. How do I find out my own Instagram? There we go. Everyone follow it. I don't just want to see it say Ty's mum follows. I want to see the regulars hitting that Instagram button too. 36 nice, says David. It's for my mum, says Ty. But now going off to the right-hand side. Jake Gordon trying to get this one moving. No advantage this time for the Waratahs. Looping around. Wide cut-out pass chance here. Stepping back inwards for Potter, but he's put it down. Now nice quick stepping. Oh, that's a clothesline from Hudson Creighton. Oh, sorry, Lawson. There's a Hudson and there's a Lawson, and I always get those two around the wrong way. Just arrived in Dubai. What was the Crusaders' result? So this will be a spoiler for anyone who doesn't know it, but in the end, Joss, Crusaders lost. Highlanders winning that game by 2 points with a closing penalty in the 79th by Cam Miller. So managing to look really strong throughout the first half, fell just behind at halftime, and then went on to win the whole thing, which was pretty massive. So yeah, they'll be thrilled. I can tell you that right now. Now line out throw here. Nicely slapped back by Dobbins, although it does go into the hands. Oh no, Paul Williams took a tumble. Ended up trying to dodge that pass and went backwards. Saders got broomed. What does that mean? Broomed. Boomed, I would understand, but what is broomed? Is that like getting a broomstick where the sun don't shine? Now pass, that's risky. It's going to be a knock-on there. Played on the ground by the Reds who had the ball. There was about 3 knock-ons. Paul Williams just says, oh, well, we'll just keep on going and see how it goes. Jamie Joseph doing his magic for the Highlanders before he becomes the All Blacks coach? Maybe. And like I mentioned, it's kind of the best case scenario if you're Jamie Joseph, because now you can say, look, I got a massive win over the Crusaders. Amato Cero's on a huge line break here and moving up to the halfway line. Looking for the steal on the breakdown, though. Fraser McWright gets penalised. I think they've said he's gone past the ball initially. Mother's Day is the 10th of May. You have time, Hamish, says Ruby. If Kiwis, Pops, if you're my mum somehow will work out, call me Cupid. I still don't believe your mum even knows who I am. I can tell you that right now. I'm very sceptical. And no way Aussies lost in the cricket. Yeah, they weren't supposed to. I can tell you that right now. It was the last thing that was supposed to happen in that department. But it did. Tell George to make a what's a salu? And also the Crusaders usually start off with a couple of losses, then they open up. Says David the Mod. Yeah, like if they're still in the top 6, you don't want to play them. It's pretty much the gist of it. 1 second, I'm about to sneeze, so I'll hide off to the side. 1 second. We are good. I'll bring the champagne, says Ruth. Dan, you can be my Mother's Day gift. Left-hand side for Hendren. The fly fear, says the AI underdog. At least she says Ty. Now Halaholo, the only try scorer for the Waratahs. He gets back up to his feet and has another crack at the line. There's a big chance, though, for the Tahs to be able to strike in. I'm picking Charlie Gamble to get over the line here. He's going to wait patiently for his opportunity. Goes round, and that's very close to being over. No, he decides to recycle it. And oh, no, you're not allowed to do that. It's going to be the penalty. Double blow on the whistle here too. Okay, time is off. They're checking this one. Okay, they've talked about penalties already. It's another offside. If Crusaders can cut down to 30 knock-ons, 15 penalties a game, they'll be more dangerous. Yeah, they had so many knock-ons in that last game. Like, that's the worst I've seen them handle the ball, I think, almost ever. Like, and that's even including games in the wet. Like, it was just not good at all. So we'll go like this. And like that as well. But now, they were 5 metres out. I thought Gamble was going to go over, but he just kind of flattened out and the ball ended up between his legs. Now rolling more chance here, and I will mention that yellow card has been awarded to the Reds. Be real, just sneeze on the camera, all good. We all love you, no shame. Says Nazi. I think it's like, I could probably get away with just muting it. But then I'd make a funny face and someone would screenshot it. Because you know you always look funny when you sneeze. Oh, that's close for Suali'i. He tries to crawl towards the try line. He's going to be half a metre short now. I'm back off to the right-hand side. They're literally about 2 inches from the line. The question is, who's going to go over? It looks like that's very close. That is extremely close, but they are again looking just short. You can turn this chat into Mother's Day cards, for example. Mum, Hamish, are you so much? Says Ruth. Oh, sorry, that was Ruby. And they hoped Will Jordan was going to win it for them, I think. And he almost did. That was the crazy thing. The fact that he made his way onto the field and just changed the game completely was absolutely incredible. I don't know how they stopped them so many times just out from that try line. It's incredible defence from the Reds, but it becomes that goal line dropout. We're still 7 points to 5 between these two sides. Nice take there around the halfway line for the Tahs. Amatasero going to build up some steam, and he runs straight at Zane and Gore and also Matty Faisler. Oh, big clean out attempted in the breakdown from Aiden Ross. Bit of a silly penalty to give away, as it does award the Waratahs a gifted 3 in front of the posts if they want it. We're about to find out if they do. Paul Williams, I think he's going over to just give another warning to this Red side, pretty much saying any more, and they'll get themselves in more trouble. So it was Latu who got himself sent to the bin. I'm good, thank you, but my left knee ain't, says BTW Padza. They're just showing that Amatasero, big dive over the top. Now, the reason that's a no try is you're not allowed to dive like that over a try line. One moment, I'm about to sneeze again. So 1 second. We are back again. The blade downloads on the New Zealand cricket team, says Kyle. I believe she says Bedza. Looks like Lawson Creighton is going to go for the 3 points here rather than the potential 7. And does get that kick over, making the score now 10 points to 5 in favour of the Waratahs. They're going all right here. 9.2 seconds. 9.2. What, that I was muted for? Is that you've timed it specifically? The commentator's questioning whether that dive over should be a try. They are, yes. Which, that's always a no try though, isn't it? Like that one, you're not allowed to go right over the top of the breakdown. You're allowed a little bit of, like, you're not allowed to jump up. You're allowed to jump out, aren't you? But he went up and over. Estimated, says the AI underdog pick. Told to use it again. Currently 2 minutes remaining. Now going up for the ball. Taking it once more. Good attack and run here from Tim Ryan. Big smashing shot on him. And always a no try unless you're playing for the Lions, says Studs Race. Yeah, there are little exceptions. Now kicked him behind. This one had to be taken by Hudson Creighton and does so. Oh, it's Lawson. I keep on saying Hudson. Now Max Jorgensen finds the pop pass up. Now massive space on the outside for Max Jorgensen. 1-on-1. Gets around the defence. And he will score right at the end of the first half. Brilliant try from Max Jorgensen. That's a huge one. I'm going to my mum's house now. I'll be back a little later. Is there any other games today, Mr. Kiwi Sir? So depending on where you are in the world, will depend, because I don't think so today. But we've got the 3 Super Rugby matches, or probably 2 Super Rugby matches tomorrow, and then a whole heap of 7s, and then also the Six Nations too. A great crowd. Didn't expect that many more than the T20 World Cup, says Bad to the Bone. Yeah, it's a really decent crowd for this contest. Playing wing, says our underdog. But we will be here plenty of times throughout the weekend, is pretty much what I was saying. We've got more and more coming. It's currently 11:20 a.m. here. Yeah, so no more today, but early hours of tomorrow morning, but also right throughout tomorrow for yourself. Like, we've got a lot of hours that we're going to be on the channel for throughout this weekend. That kick has gone over too. Now a very handy lead towards half-time here for the Waratahs. 15 points to 5. That's better. Well, that's magic. He's getting better and better. Yeah, you know how sometimes when you see a defender one-on-one, how the attacking player can panic that little bit and the defender just pretty much runs straight and gets him? But in that case, he just sidestepped and went and had the pace to beat him. Will you be having the commentary tomorrow on the HSBC 2-7s? I actually am going to be, Joshua. I'm looking forward to seeing those Kenya boys back in action, seeing as, well, I mean, I still feel they should be on the main circuit anyway, but because they've got Division 2 now, it's going to be great to see Kenya in action, definitely in front of the Kenyan crowd in Nairobi. That's a ball stolen by the Reds. They may look to try and score right at the end of this first half break. Now, Aidan Ross, it's a big mistake, though, made by this Waratahs side if they do end up conceding now. But yeah, we'll be doing a majority of the games. There's a couple that are going to overlap. Oh, great pass on the outside. Broyle in the corner. And the Waratahs, they took their foot off the gas and maybe their heads into the sheds. And from there, it meant that the Waratahs had the opportunity to score right at the end of the first half. I got a ton of schoolwork to do. I'm in grade 12, my last year. Going to be nice to play some Kiwi lads in the background. Says Taiwan there. Not to bash the box, but their try and step by Jorgensen almost looked identical to his try and the first box test, says Yellens. Be honest, would you fire Les Kiss if they finished last? The Reds are not giving him the Wallabies job? No. Like, he's probably got that Wallabies job pretty well secured at the moment, seeing as he's going in. And I think Joe Smith vouches for him as well. So you just chuck him in. I mean, the Highlanders finished dead last, and the All Blacks are looking at giving Jamie Joseph the All Blacks job. So Super Rugby doesn't matter per se, it would seem, in terms of the decisions of who goes to coaching. Going to Moscow in halftime, says Mohadin. Yeah, halftime normally about a 15-minute break, although sometimes for the Aussie games it can be a little bit longer. But that makes the score 17 points to 12 here between these two sides. There was an interesting first half. It stayed really low scoring up until the final moments where it just started going back and forth. Second, we'll go like this. I want to check to see what they're sitting at odds-wise. Jamie Joseph wasn't coach last year, though, for the Landers. Says Kiwi Rob. And this game's building nicely for a good second half, says Studs Race. And also, what was the All Blacks international window looking like, says Kyle. So they have got games in July. They've got that Springboks tour. And then they've got November internationals. No rugby championship. This game's building nicely for a good second half. King Miller should take a bow. Or should take a bell. He was Kiwi, says Highlander. I assume you're talking about Cam Miller, right? But for real though, if my mum sent you a DM, would you respond? I mean, I respond to all the messages we get on Instagram, so probably. Just like if anyone else sends us one, we always make sure we reply as much as we can. I just don't think your mum's going to send one though. And how am I to know that it's not just you acting like your mum? Because that would be weird. Don't do that. Is there a mini Rugby World Cup in November? No, there's the autumn, or kind of the Nations Cup, as they call it, which is kind of like July and November combined into a tournament, and then a final at the end of it. 3 days, which you can throw one in the US. Is that right? Says Kyle. I'm not sure what you mean, Kyle. One in the US for the South African tour, I think you're saying, isn't it? Hamish, is she redheads? I have no idea what she looks like. Oh, yeah, no, I wouldn't do that. Don't worry, I'm not that weird. Not that weird. You're like, I can set you up with my mum, but I'm not weird. You know, it's fine. It's all good. I want to put Jamie Joseph in as All Blacks coach after one game. Says Kiwi Rob. Springboks in it, says Mohadin. Yeah, they are playing in the mini tournament too. 1 second, we'll go like this. And like that as well. So the Tahs are still sitting favourite in this contest. They are up by the 5 points. A little bit closer though. So I assume they're thinking the Reds have got some sort of second half possibility maybe. But it's just very hard to tell. Our Redheads are notorious. And also we have got the Kiwi Rob, Jamie Joes. Easy gets the job, says Highlanders fan. Are all gunning for you, Ty, says Sock. And exactly, says Ty 1. And there too. But second half of this contest is not a mile away. Do let me know your end score predictions, ladies and gents. This one seems to be one that could easily go either way at the moment, the way that it currently sits. Like the Tahs probably had the better moments. But at the same time, like the Reds are still in this. Cougars are the best. They're discreet, says David the Mod. And how were the Reds not the favourites at the start? I actually don't know. I thought that they would have been, but I think it's because of what happened in pre-season, how the Reds lost to the Waratahs quite drastically. But then last year, in both regular season games, we saw 2 wins go the way of the Reds. Why is South African team's not playing in Super Rugby? Because they're in the URC and the Champions Cup, so they don't get to play in both, unfortunately. When he coached Japan, and Highlands fan, even with a 46% win record, says Kiwi Rock. I mean, to be fair, you're never going to have a 100% winning record coaching a side like Japan that are a lot lower, or were a lot lower at the time. Turn Kiwi lads into a bachelor, says Ruby. Who won the Highlanders game? Fun fact, the Highlanders won. They somehow got the job done. Close game, but in the end, winning it. So bonus point for the Satyrs, but 4 points to the Landers in that contest. Would you give the Tahs the edge to the bench? I was thinking Tahs before kickoff, said Studs Race. I do like the look of their bench overall. You know, they've got... I'm just looking through right at the Reds. They've got a few decent guys. I've got to lean a little bit, or I've got to put my shoulders in so that you guys can see. But like Tuamanga Allen and Siru Uru, probably the two that I'm looking at for the Reds who can have the most damage, make the biggest impact. But like Falaufa and Ya'a, you got Angus Blythe there. Teddy Wilson's normally pretty speedy off of the bench. And you got Tristan Riley as well, who's really dangerous finisher. GG Zimbabwe cricket team, says Highlanders. And also Wales are not so good this year, says Mohadin. And if South Africa comes back, would be dangerous. Northern Hemisphere looking comfy today, says the AI underdog pick. I'm leaning towards the Tahs in this one now. Alana Ferguson, I'm in love. Alana Ferguson. Is that a tennis player, David? I know you love your tennis players. Is she a tennis goer? Lotto's bet. Or wait, Lotto's a beat. If he stays disciplined, says Nazi. I assume you're saying, yeah, Salakai Lotto. Oh, beast, sorry. I was trying to work out the lingo. I assumed it was something good for Salakai Lotto, because he plays for the Reds. Dre, says Stasi there. But 11 penalties conceded by the Reds. You can understand why they've got themselves a red card, which I think they are still dealing with. In the early stages of the second half, they will be down by 1 for probably about 2 or so minutes. And we have got there, it's almost my birthday, says Mohadin. When is your birthday, Mohadin? I know that it's almost Valentine's Day here in New Zealand. Is it Valentine's Day everywhere in the world on the 14th of February? I think it is, right? But yeah, that's coming up in only about 90 minutes' time. Just talking to Michael Hooper on the sideline there. 172 Super Rugby games. He'd be pretty impressed with what this Waratahs side have been able to do so far throughout this contest. Everyone like and sub because he's staying up pretty late. Says Chad. We've got plenty more coming up throughout the weekend as well. 16th of March, 2026. Says Mohadin. Oh, yeah, so you only got about a month or so that you got to wait. Alana played rugby for Australia. She's part of the commentary team. Oh, is that who that was in that last screen? Hey, it's tomorrow by me. He's not even in the lineup. I was their best player last year, in my opinion. One of Let Me Check, says Starzy. I send you a KFC for your birthday, says Nas Williams. A red card for the Reds who? Hamish, that's awful. No, just the yellow card for the Reds in this case. And it was Latu who ended up going off for the yellow, the number 8. And you're not quite what they were after. But at the same time, they're still not out of this game. 5 points separating these teams. That game between the Crusaders and the Highlanders, I think, was separated by 2 points going into the halftime break. So both of them are quite close. I'm going to send an SOS out to the Madman or Mad Max, Mel Gibson for Valentine's. Hamish is otherwise engaged. Says Ruth. See their tackles missed, 9 and 9. 89% completion for the Reds. 88% completion for the Tahs. Carrying meters an extra 120 or so in favour of this Waratahs side. 10 and 2 for the penalties. So a lot going against the Reds and a lot of handling errors for the Waratahs. They've had 7 so far in this match, which I would say is a few too many. But it happens. You know, look at that last game. The Crusaders, they were dropping it like it was hot, as the song says. Looks like you've taken care of for Valentine's Day, Hamish, with someone's mum. It's, yeah. Still a crazy concept, isn't it? But I don't think she'll follow me. That's the spoiler right now. I don't think there will be any following of sorts. But the follow-up in the second half here from the Reds, it has to be quick. The early stages. Can you believe we're only 2 months away from women's rugby starting? Not really, no. I can't believe we're in February. I was talking about it the other stream, how I had some seeds that I wanted to put in the cupboard to grow them later on, right? And I put them in before Christmas because I was like, I don't want to leave my seeds all out on the bench. So I put them in the cupboard, and I was like, that's going to be a couple weeks ago. No, it's like 6 weeks ago that happened. That's just going too fast. Aussie rugby can be messy sometimes, but the talent is great. Amish is a mummy's boy now, says Ruby, and Tahs aren't handling this too good. They drop the ball a lot. Are they giving him a shot at 10? Next weekend, gangster, says Starzy. Our Reds need to get some momentum here. Well, if they can stop giving away penalties, they'll actually probably go all right here. Like, actually really good. I just realised I could be in Thailand when the Super Rugby final was on. Says Jasmine. What you growing, Hamish? Says David. Well, I decided that strawberries are expensive, right? So I decided I wanted to try and grow some strawberries. But I didn't want to start growing them now because I don't think it's the best time. What's the best month to grow strawberries in New Zealand? June to September, so I'm still a wee way away. So like, yeah, it was in December, so probably one of the worst times to grow them. So I was like, I'll just wait a little bit longer. Strawberries are not easy to grow. Yeah. So that's why I wanted to give myself the best chance by growing them at the right time. You pick from October. Yeah, I pretty much chose the absolute worst time of the year to think about growing them. But I didn't start growing them. This year has gone very fast, says Stefan. Yeah, it's I can't believe we're almost into March. Which is just, yeah, it's just going. But it'll be Christmas before we know it. It's June when you pick them, says Sock. I guess it depends on where you are in the world though, doesn't it? Because like for us here in New Zealand, June to September is when they're growing by the sounds of it. And then you get the higher yield by Christmas, I guess. What happened to the Western Force? They're playing up against the Brumbies tomorrow. But they are still in the competition. They beat the Reds in pre-season, didn't they? I think maybe by a couple points. Or maybe it was the Waratahs that they beat by a couple points, actually. And Strawberry Jam is the best on pancakes and croissant. And New Zealand has a 16-year-old runner, smashing records, the youngest person ever to break the 4-minute mile. He broke John Walker's record. His name is Sam Ruth. I've heard about him. I haven't actually seen any of him racing or anything. But by the sounds of it, like everyone says he's going to be the big thing for for the Kiwis in the future. He already is doing very well for himself at the moment. I only know because my mum worked at the berries on Mahunga. With kiwi fruit and berries, sock. But yeah, so the seeds, we're going to plant them soon. Well, not really soon. Probably, will they grow by, if I plant them, let's say in July, will I have strawberries for Christmas? Tickets for the HSBC Sevens 2 tournament in Nairobi have sold out. Doesn't surprise me one bit. Kenya have a huge Rugby Sevens following, which makes it more and more crazy that they decided to take them off the main circuit. Because all they did was probably cost themselves a huge amount of revenue in tickets. One second, we go like that. And like that. And Aussie put out a better performance on South Africa than New Zealand has recently done. I can't read that, but on their own turf, 60 year. Obliterated, says Stasi. When do you have to work? Probably Monday midday, I would say. The Six Nations last match that has taken place finishes at like 6 a.m. New Zealand time. So I might get to have a few hours of sleep before heading to work. But yeah, it's going to be a busy weekend, followed by quite a bit. Where did you buy the seeds from? Local or off the internet? They aren't local, you're wasting your time, says Ruby. Well, here's the thing. I got some strawberries, and then from there I chopped off the tops of them because I don't eat the green part. I don't know if people do, but I don't. Chop them off, put them down on a paper towel, and then from there, what I did was waited for them to dry out and then pick them off. So I actually picked the seeds off the strawberries myself. It took too long. It took probably an hour of me sitting there just picking it. You got a good job, Hamish? I like it. It's working as a builder/labourer with Dad, so it's pretty cruisy, and he kind of understands that my hours will be a bit messy in the early stage of the week, but no, it's good. Overall, not many people get to go to work with someone in their family, let alone their dad. So I feel like I'm very lucky in that regard, even though I'm useless, but he tells me what to do, and I try and do it, and eventually I get it done. He's already a record holder for New Zealand at 16. He's that guy, says Stasi. And we'll go like that. And that, it's going to be a free kick now, going the way of the Reds. Good kid, says the underdog pick. And also, stripping is just taking off your clothes slowly to music. Where'd that come from? Once again, it was Sock, I think, who started it that time. Random question, is the schedule out for the Sevens too? It is. It's on the HSBC Sevens website. So there's 6 men's teams, 6 women's teams. Off to the right. Oh, that's a big driving tackle. Oh, my goodness. Absolutely smashed him backwards. They're still playing with only the 14 men out there on the field. You can grow pineapples the same way. I like pineapples. I couldn't find it, says Kiwi Rob. Did you go on the main menu? It has the dates of the main sevens. You got to then click on the Sevens 2 tab. It's just to the right. Taken there by the Tahs. Just outside of their own 22 now, running it back to 35 out. To use it once more, Gordon. Storm just got creamed in their pre-match. Says Sock. Trying to move this one a little bit in the breakdown. Rolling back again. Gordon goes high. Rugby support, Amish, says Sush. And there too. It's going to be a free kick now, awarded to the Reds. It was accidental offside, which means they can take a free or a quick tap here. That's the option now in the new laws of Super Rugby. Who got the yellow? It was the number 8, Latu for the Waratahs. For the Reds, my apologies. Running on to that one. That's a beautiful take from the back from Crichton. Sam River has a big race this weekend, all the big guns are there, including the Olympic gold medalists. They'll put him up to a decent test then to see just where he is comparatively. He's not supposed to win that race, though, is he? Bad to the bones, right? Cooked the man some eggs, Hamish. I actually cooked eggs earlier today. And it was quite sad because I went to flip them nicely because they were all connected. It was like 3 eggs in a little pan, and I just went to flip it, and it didn't work. I broke 3 yolks, so then I decided, right, scrambled eggs it is. Kind of whack them around a little bit as Will Jordan playing. He played a big role in that Crusaders game, but not quite enough of one. He needed a couple teammates to get something going as well. Looks like Latu has made his way back out onto the field for the Reds. Did you start scrambling it? Pretty much, yeah. As soon as I broke the first yoke, I was like, right, I think I'm going to have to deal with this. And then the second yoke broke, and I said, okay. And then just slammed it a little bit with a spatula, and yeah, just turn it into scrambled eggs. The idea was there, though. It's just the execution wasn't. It just stuck a little bit too much. Just showing here, Joseph Suaalii. It was actually a forward pass from him. Time over says Kiwi Rob. Did you find the fixtures, Kiwi Rob, in the end? Beat those eggs. Pot too deep, says Sush. Now ready to feed this ball. And if the Reds score now, could make the difference. I can teach you a trick with the eggs, Hamish. I am all ears. Because I once made hard-boiled eggs, and they look like the most disgusting things you would ever see. Like, they were actually really, really bad, and I had to recook them. I don't know what well, no, I do know what I did wrong. I really, really know what I did wrong. It was awful. See if I've got the photo. Okay, I don't think I have the photo, which is good, because they look... Whew. Okay, penalty goes the way of the Reds now. I had to Google it, says Kiwi Rob. When the yoke breaks, says Nazi Williams, make it scrambled after that. Yeah, because like you can try and save it, but it just doesn't work. Like, you are always, if you break a yoke, you can't recover from it, unless you just like them separated a little bit. And add a little water to the pan. When they start turning white, just a splash, and then put the lid on the pan. I'm watching Crew 12 launch. Crew 12 launch. I don't know what that is. Some sort of rocket ship, is it? Are we being an egg with the eggs? Yeah, I was a little bit. 1 second, I'm about to sneeze. Not with the eggs, though. We are good again. Currently, another penalty, this time going the way of the Waratahs. And the stream then cooks them from the top. Oh. I did Potter join the Tahs this year. Thought he played for the Force. Yeah, they've got a few signings, the Tahs. They've also got Pete Samu. He's gone in, no tape for the Reds. Still injured for another few weeks. But I found the picture of the egg. I didn't eat this, by the way. Oh, no, they haven't found touch, so I will have to continue my egg story a little bit later on. It's gone high, nicely taken again from Lawson Crichton. He's been phenomenal under the high ball all throughout the second half. And also, first half, he wasn't too shabby either. Amatasiro. Hits it up once more. Jay Gordon. Almost sneaking through was Ethan Dobbins. Yeah, when did Potter join the Tahs? Yeah, I didn't actually realise he did it up until I saw him in the lineup. A bit earlier on in the week. There's a few signings that kind of went under the radar a little bit for this season. Now, big wide cutout pass from Max Jorgensen. Now chips it in behind. Oh, nice take there, though, for the Reds. And now a counter-attacking chance for Worshin. Who's your favourite Super Rugby team, says Dylan. I actually struggle to pick my favourite. Favourite kit out of everyone is definitely, like, I like the Hurricanes kit. I'm a sucker for a bit of yellow. So I'd probably go with that. But not, like, I just like watching all the teams play, to be fair. Like, I'm enjoying this game just as much as a New Zealand derby in terms of the back and forth. Oh, that's a hard collision in the air. Big run forward from Lukan Salakai-Lotto. Shocker, Australia lost to Zimbabwe in the T20 game. Yeah, wasn't supposed to happen, but did. I think Australia's still fine, though, right? Is Moananu injured? I didn't think so. But it would be unfortunate if he was. Then at the same time, I do like the fact that he signed for someone. Like, he was going to struggle to get game time at the Satyrs with the fact that they've got George Bell and Cody Taylor. But I would have liked to see it be a New Zealand side, like maybe the Highlanders or someone like that. That way, All Blacks contention was still on the cards. Now kicked him behind here from the Reds, just looking for a bit of territory. Jake Gordon takes it inside of his 22. Goes for the banana kick. It's nicely kicked, but it didn't end up going out. It actually bounces just inside. Now passed across from Campbell. Kicked high from Harry McLaughlin. Phillips. Oh, Lawson Crichton again manages to take it under the high ball. As a light-hearted joke, bro, lies too serious as is. I laugh about Beth, it's a joke. Beth, who's Beth? What happened to Beth? One who injured? And what one's that about? Tahs Williams. Your last one was the make a scrambled egg about that. Unless, of course, the other one didn't come through. Maybe? Currently, Australia's out of the T20 Cup. Really? Oh, I'm the Beth? Who's Beth? Nice take from the Reds. Look at this egg. It looks like a mussel. Wait for it. It's going to focus. Look at that. That's supposed to be a hard-boiled egg. I had to cook that thing again because there was no way I was eating it while it still had like liquid in the center. And it wasn't like just a runny yolk. It was like a runny white as well. What is that? That was supposed to be a hard-boiled egg. That was the first time I tried to cook them by myself. If anyone without teeth, you are the Beth, Hamish. Alien egg, says Sash. Yeah. Yeah, luckily I didn't bite into it. I kind of cut it. Because if I bit into that thing, I think I would have thrown it up. I'm not reading that one, Jason. I've read it, but I'm not reading it aloud, I should say. That was a bit gummy. Oh, that was a bit, yeah, it wasn't good. So I had to cook them twice. And then the second time, they were rubbery. I could have used them like a bouncy ball, those things. But I would rather that than have them to the point where they look like they're going to give you diseases, They're going off to the left-hand side. Big run from Joey Walton. They move up to 22 metres out from the line now for the Waratahs. So there's a little bit of aggression coming from this team too. Flaufai Ngata gets it on the inside to Thomas Lambert. I love air-frying boiled eggs. Does that work or did they blow up? Surely they blow up, right? I know if you put a boiled egg in a microwave, it goes bang and can absolutely explode. It was Kindy at the back when it was our boys home for Joanne. So here's the underdog pick. Now ball's still there again for the Tahs. Lambert tackled low. Sounds like a risky experiment. Looks like something Jack the Ripper would be interested in, says Jason. Oh, look, Stalakai Lotto trying to hold it up here. It works, says Snowdrops. As Amira's gamble hype fading. He's been quiet this game. Although, to be fair, Pete Samu has been as well. And normally one of those two would at least step up a little bit. But, yeah, I don't know. I feel like in this comparison, we've probably seen McWright and Bryle both do better. And best, you'd probably say Halahola for the loose forwards of the Waratahs. In terms of who was the better out there. 120 for 12 minutes, says Snowdrops. 120 for 12. Did you just put it... You put it in something, right? But you can't... I guess you can't put it in a bowl. What would you put it on? Like a tray? Or in a pan? Like a little mini pan thing? Try putting a golf ball in the microwave. That just sounds like a terrible idea. But, I'll be honest, kind of curious at what would happen. Okay, it sounds like at the moment they're going to check this maybe. Paul Williams is not happy. He's trying to speed up this game, and one of the Reds players is putting his contacts back in. Gamble and Samu. Could be a Wallabies pairing, says Sash. So they need to start performing. I know, just loose in the basket. Loose in the basket. What type of basket have you got, though? I guess you've got one with, like, because my one's got, like, grades in it. Or, like, kind of like a tray, like a rack. So my egg would just go straight through it. This is the last game of the morning? It is, yes. But we got plenty of games taking place tomorrow. So we will be covering those ones on the channel. And you start running once you push start. Preheat to 120 Celsius and then add the eggs. 12 minutes for soft boiled, 14 for medium, 18 for hard boiled. Oh, you're leaving the egg as an egg. You're like keeping the shell on. Sorry, I was thinking you were cracking the egg into your air fryer, and I was thinking, how is that going to work? But no, I get you now. That makes more sense. Now, kick downfield. Okay, had to get back onside. Great lines there, Sash. This one's stalemate at the moment. Neither side really getting any sort of momentum. The Panthers are getting spanked. Says cool, Kiwi Rob. They're playing preseason now, aren't they? Who are they facing? Something I want to try is smoking an egg. How do you do that? Just put it on the grate, be fearless, says Snowdrops. See, something that I will never be fearless enough to do is cook a chicken in an air fryer. You know, like on those ads, how they stick a skewer through the chicken either side, and they rotate it and cook it on the air, or like in an air fryer, one of those rotisserie ones. I don't think I could ever do that. Raw egg sounds like a less dramatic option. Cowboys, says Kiwi Rob. Were the Cowboys supposed to be winning that by the amount that they are? Looks like another change happening here for the Reds. Bit of a limp here for, I think that was Joe Bryle. Thrown in by, like, Richie Asiata. No, it would have been George Blake, in fact, for the Reds. Lockie Anderson, they have to release him 40 metres out from the line here for the Reds. Big crashing run forward. Oh, look at the score, bro. Says Kiwi Rob. Air fryer sucks. Don't give you your heart disease. Says Sock. It's easy to cook chicken in an air fryer. You just have to be patient, says Ruby. Oh, that was an interesting clean out from George Blake. There was a Waratahs player bent over the breakdown, and he came in from behind him and pretty much humped him. But in a kind of legal way, because he kind of tried to chuck his shoulder in there too while doing it. It was an interesting breakdown. But I guess we're almost at Valentine's Day. Now going off to the left-hand side. Chance here. Oh, nice spin from Bryle. So he wasn't the man who went off the field. So he's still out there. Yes, lots of fun. So here's Sash. I use my air fryer every day. I live in the desert. And it keeps the house from getting too hot. So here's Snowdrops. Now passed on the outside. Lukan Salakai-Lotto goes to McLaughlin Phillips. Now almost through. Pick and go from Lockie Anderson. He goes through. Thought about the offload but couldn't quite free up his hands. Oh, yeah, okay, true that. Just asked my partner and she said, yeah, you can air fry an egg. And when I said smoke, she didn't look surprised, says the AI underdog pick. Now that one's going to be kicked downfield once more. Chance, yeah, foot race. It looks like at the moment Teddy Wilson was not quite able to beat the foot race. Oh, wow, that's just all scrapping. It's almost like AFL at the moment, the way both sides were running after that one. There's an advantage now in favour of the Waratahs. It's come out the back door. Drop ball from Potter. Accidental offside, free kick to the Waratahs is what they've come up with there. Put the chicken in at lowest heat, let it run down the cycle, then leave it for 10 to 15 minutes to absorb the heat in the chicken, then turn it, then do it again, says Ruby. You see, I once tried to cook chicken tenders in the air fryer, and they took 40 minutes and they weren't cooked. And ever since that, I've just never trusted an air fryer with chicken. But like it probably does work. Maybe it was the type of chicken that it was. It was like chicken tenders, but they were like still kind of clucking at the end of it. Now going off to the right-hand side. No, in fact, they'll move left here for the Waratahs. Crichton's actually had a really good game here for the Tahs in that number 10 jersey. Oh, trying to loop around there for the Tahs, and it doesn't quite work out again for James Hendren. Go to KFC much quicker. says Jason. Waratahs players are natural when it comes to bending over, says Jason. If you want, you can cover it in tinfoil. Can you? So you can put tinfoil in an air fryer, but just not a microwave, right? Tinfoil in the microwave is a bad idea. Oh, they've got a penalty here for the Tahs, and this would give them a lead of 8 if they decide to go for the 3 points. I think the air fryer is broken. Probably. I think I'm just broken when it comes to trying to cook. Whoa. They're going for the corner here rather than going for the 3 points, which would have given them an 8-point lead. So the only thing I can think here is maybe they're trying to chase bonus points or just really looking to secure it. What temperature for 40 minutes? Tenders cook pretty fast. I think it was like 180. Like, it was very confusing, and I didn't know where all the heat was going, but, like, the things were still, like, not even crispy, and they were flopping around. It confused my brain very much so. Maybe I had the wrong setting somewhere along the lines. Maybe I was on, like, defrost or something. But it just didn't want to cook. In the end, I had to take them out, cook them in the oven for, like, 20 minutes, and then they were just cooked. The out ball's there. So the right-hand side. Maybe air fryer wasn't sealed. Celsius or Fahrenheit? It was Celsius. I don't know what happened to it. I'll be honest. But I haven't really cooked anything in it yet. Oh, penalty to the Reds. 15 metres out from the line. Holding on penalty. Looks like McWright's got a little bit of blood coming out of the forehead too. A lot of players bleeding in this game. You're blessed to have a woman cooking for you. Sock says Nas. Oh. That's a bit dirty. From Suoliti, in fact. He's actually put his knee up. That's actually not legal. At least I'd like to think it wouldn't be. He's led with his knee into Lockie Anderson and injured Anderson in the process for Joseph Akuso Suoliti. Adela's loved tinfoil. And the big step says Sash. Did you buy your air fryer from the warehouse that came up by any chance? No, it was neither of those. It was actually a kind of fancy one. And George Blake to throw this one 58 minutes through. Still 5 points separating these two sides. And that's a schoolboy trick. Says Sash. Left-hand side. I like Joseph, he can't do wrong, says Nazi. Now Urshan. Back to McLaughlin Phillips. Again, down the field once more. Air fryers are like women in a way, I guess. You have to get to know your air fryer, says Ruby. See, I was going to say, like, I just put it back in the cupboard. But that's, of course, not in comparison with woman, you know. That's, yeah. Going into touch now from the Reds, around the halfway line. Splashed out and went to Briscoe, says Thuds Race. I think it might have been Noel Leeming. I might have even gone one more up. I fancy as in Timu. Not Timu, no. I did have a Timu phase, though. They get me every time. Like, there was one patch where they were like, hey, if you buy this, you get 57 items free. And I said, yep. But it didn't go well. Now thrown in, nicely taken by the Tahs. 40 metres out from the line. Who's going to win? I think the Waratahs look the better at the moment. The Reds have been a little bit too ill-disciplined, but they still have enough talent out there to be able to sneak a close game. I don't know why the Waratahs didn't take that 3 points, though. Purely because of the fact that, like, they had a pretty good chance. You know, it wasn't a hard kick. Another penalty goes the way of the Reds. Briscoe's ain't that great. Not fussy, but it ain't a steak, says Tarzy. And Tahs are not great, says Sashi. We're down to the final quarter of this match. Neither side showing any huge signs that they're going to go on and really get it going in this one. Tahs are not great, says Sash. And hotter and tastier, says Ruth. Yeah, I think that this game, in a way, the way that the teams have played, it almost feels like a pre-season in terms of the amount of errors. But of course, we are in the first match of the actual season. So, like, They have to find their rhythm soon. Now, going off to the left for the Reds. Uh-oh. This looks like an injury. Who is that? I think that's Folau Fainga'a. He looks a little bit confused at the moment. I think he took a massive shot to the head. I think they just want to check that he is going to be all right here. And air fryer cook stuff in their own oil, says Ruth. But the weird thing is, the air fryer that I've got, I know that we've been talking about air fryers a lot, but there's currently a player down, and he probably will be for a little while too here. But the weird thing with my air fryer is, like, it's got a rack in it, which means that, like, the juices, they just go under it. So I feel like it doesn't really, like, it doesn't work. It doesn't cook it in its juice because it escapes. It runs away. You know? That's just my story. Red smack it, says Ruth. Yeah, it looks like Folau Fainga'a. He is back up to his feet, which is a great sign, but I highly doubt he's going to be able to continue in this game after the collision that he's just taken there. They are just showing the start to this game for Max Jorgensen as Bry open flame, basically. What is it? Depends on the model, but yes, somewhat. I think some of them can actually be in a wall as well. But predominantly open flame is the way you broy. With a nice little rack over the top. Open goal, says Ruby. I saw a broy on TV. Looks yum. Any Barbie with big chunks of meat is good, says Sock. And open goals, no flames. Is he no flames? I swear when I was looking up bries, I saw pictures of them with like fire coming out of them. Air fryer is a convection oven. You want air to hit every surface of the food being cooked, says Thuds Race. Oh. This is a big moment here in this game. Not so much in terms of the outcome. Paul Williams has gone over to the medic and said, okay, so Paul Williams has just said that Folau Fainga'a must go for a HIA here. So pretty much what's happened is Folau Fainga'a has gone for a tackle on Hunter Paisami, and he's been knocked out cold. So he's lying there, knocked out on the ground. He woke up, and they went, back into the game you go. So the match medic has said, nah, he's all right, he's good. And now they're going for an HIA. Now, I would be surprised if Folau Fainga'a comes back from this HIA with a pass, but if it happens, it's still the right call, I feel, from Paul Williams. You can't risk having a guy out there who's just been knocked out cold. And then what normally happens is he hits one or two more breakdowns and they go, oh, he's a bit injured, we better take him off. So it's better that they do it sooner rather than later. Time is going to be turned back on now, though. Well, ref does his job, says Studs Race. Yeah, at the end of the day, he's got to look at the player safety too. And he's gone, like, I saw him lying on the ground, snoozing, take him off and at least, check him, first of all. Air fryers are easiest with frozen foods when you're first learning to use them. I want to try and put a cake in the air fryer, see what happens. Probably shouldn't. I prefer sausage chat over air fryer chat any day. I could have said something, Jason, but I won't. I know you were going on about hot dogs earlier on, but each their own. What's your opinion on that as a fan? I think it's the right call. Like, I'm always surprised when a player stays out on the field after getting knocked out, and then one or two phases later, they get taken off for an HIA. And it's like, well, you've just put them through a little bit more contact. So, like, I think it's the right call from Paul Williams. Maybe the Waratahs weren't happy with their line out anyway, but you still got to take him off. Surely if he's been knocked out, he's already failed the HIA. Well, like Paul Williams said, he's got every sign of a concussion because he had his eyes rolled back. He was sleeping on the floor. Who's the AB's coach? I think it's happening in a few weeks by the sounds of it. But about 3 of them are the front runners at the moment. Dave Rennie, you've got Jamie Joseph, and then also Ian Foster with Steve Hansen. Sounds like the other combo. The key to air fryer is to preheat. Yeah, see, I didn't preheat the air fryer that time that I cooked those chicken tenders. So that might have been the reason that they didn't turn out too nice. Is it weird that I've never thought to preheat an air fryer, but probably when I think about it, it makes perfect sense. That was probably why the chicken tenders did not look good, because they were cooking once they reached the temperature. I've learnt something new. Thank you, Samuel. Oh, nice turnover chance here. Poor preparation. Yeah, I think I just got excited. I thought, oh, chicken tenders in the air fryer should be good to go. And then I cooked them in the oven as well. Right, Falafai Nga'ā. He's done. Category 1 symptoms. He didn't pass the HIA because they didn't even put him in the HIA because he was showing Category 1 symptoms. So in other words, massive round of applause for Paul Williams for actually watching and not willing to just let him continue on out there on the field. Also let the chicken tenders defrost naturally for you cook them Hamish patience. Yeah, see, I think I really butchered those chicken tenders in the air fryer. I haven't tried cooking anything in it since because I was scared that I was really, really bad at it. This match is taking forever, says Sash. And chicken tenders raw are not good. That's true. Yeah, you got to cook them. You got to give them a little bit of heat. Paul Williams says studs raised there. Moment, the Waratahs, they are still favourites in this situation. So we'll go like this and like that as well. All right, about to get back underway now. Getting this one moving. Forward direction for the Tahs. They're 20 metres out. And they need to be room temperature like Ty's mum. Yep. 15 minutes. Still left. Tahs are like one-dimensional, hey? It's until they get it out wide. When they get it out wide, it's a different story. But until then, it just seems to be through the phases. Give me Dave Rennie. But true. Are they considering Ian back in? Interesting. Says Nazi. Yep, he's got a family. Don't want to get dementia too early. Says Nazi. That's going to be another penalty awarded to the Waratahs. This is getting towards that direction of, once again, maybe another warning for this red side. And a lot of penalties. Sounds like they're going for touch. They're risking it at the moment. Don't mind that decision, though. Mainly because they turned it down earlier on. So they might as well give it a bit of a crack. Just saying there, no points throughout the second half of 25 minutes of play. And also Tahs Reds is the derby of the average. Says, yeah, Congo, nice pass on the outside. Uh-oh, there was a little bit of obstruction there. With Sualeti quickly recycled, trying to get this one moving. Right, Samu's still out there on the field. Charlie Gamble is too. I haven't seen that man for 20 minutes, but it looks like he's going to pass it across to his teammate, and the Tahs are over. They managed to score the try, and it is the number 17 who has got it, and Isaac Kailea has scored. They're not making any meanings with their close phases, which is cool, because they are sucking defenders, but they look laboured. And chicken tenders are underdone delicious, says Darcy. A really okay game, says Air Congo. Tahs needed to be warmed up in an air fryer, says Jason. Yeah, it has been. It was an uneventful second half until now. It could get quite interesting. Definitely if we do see a try from the Reds in the near future. Atlanta's got the win last year. They did, finished dead last in the overall group. What I can do is I can go like that and show you. There you go. That is the table from last year. So the Chiefs finished at the top of the bunch, but they didn't have the home final, only because they lost that game up against the Blues in the round of 6 teams in the playoff finals. So because of losing that game, they had a lifeline to continue playing, but they lost home field advantage up against the Crusaders in the final. Brumbies finished third. They were the top side out of the Aussie teams. The Reds, they were in 5th place with 38, and then the Waratahs on 26 in the end. For the ratings, Highlanders fall off, although they've already won 1 game this year. So that's good. It's going in the right direction. Chef Uso Ramsey. Yeah, see, it's weird, but I can cook better without an air fryer than with one. Like, I'm better at an oven or a fry pan or anything like that, a pot. But give me an air fryer and it's like I'm a toddler who doesn't know how to use electricity. But outside of that, I'm not completely incompetent. Now, 40 metres out from the line here for the Reds. They need to try now to be able to fire in the right direction. That's a massive 2-man tackle. It was a knock on. Referee's playing the penalty there. Deliberately picked up the ball. They thought about going for the quick tap there, Jorgensen, but then he realised that it was the penalty. Oh, this is quite interesting. Okay, so that is a penalty rather than a free kick. The reason being, normally if you're in front and it's an accidental offside, it's just a free kick. But because he purposely picked it up, so purposely offside, penalty. Lucky loser gets demoted to 4th seed, which I think is fair, says Jasmine there. Wicked wings, says Starzy. I saw that KFC are doing like a Valentine's Day, like dual burger bundle thing. Maybe. I think it's like 2 Zinger burgers or something for Valentine's Day. I will not be attending said Valentine's Day chicken event. I will be coaching kids cricket. But hopefully we win. Even though I think it's just about, we're in the early stage of the season. We're just trying to get everyone playing. Going off to the left-hand side. That's nicely taken. Big wide cut-out pass. How romantic, says Samuel. I assume that's the KFC part, not the coaching cricket. Oh, nice ball on the inside, but they were in touch just. In that case, they may just want to check this one, but it was ruled as in touch. A little bit of push and shove there from Josh Canham. An air fryer is a compact countertop appliance designed to simulate deep frying without submersible food and oil. There you go. I will be getting rid of trees and watching rugby, says Jasmine. Sounds like a decent day, doesn't it? Yeah, just goes out Max Jorgensen. Foot was on the line. Nicely claimed there by the Reds. Claimed by Josh Kenneman. Decides to just run it up the middle. 10 minutes now remaining in this match. I like my food cooked unless it's cold, says Ruth. Cooked unless it's cold. Okay. Now 10 minutes remaining. Waratahs, how many tries have these boys got? They got 4, haven't they? Or they got 3. Might be 3. I'll have a look. If you order chicken wings on Valentine's Day, do they give you a sorry buddy? Maybe next time card. Poach a chicken breast in a light broth very gently. I do like a good chicken breast, to be fair. What type of broth do you go for? Is it like a chicken broth, or do you just you make the broth yourself and then poach it? I am curious. I love a good chicken breast, but I'm always worried that if it's too juicy, it's because it's not quite cooked enough. But I'd assume that by poaching it, it would actually be all right, wouldn't it? What's this? Valentine's Day. Yeah, I've hardly heard of it, to be fair, in my lifetime. It's apparently something that people who are in relationships celebrate, but don't know too much about those. Some of you know about my last one too. It didn't end too well, did it? But now going for the kick downfield. It was the goal line dropout. Nicely taken around the halfway line for the Waratahs. A bay leaf star anise and a half onion, says Samuel there. Chicken thighs with the skin on, says here Congo. You should just buy a meat thermometer to check the temp. Yeah, you got to buy a fancy one, don't you? Because you don't want your thermometer to lie to you. Because if your thermometer lies, you're in trouble. As a male, we all like breasts, bro. Says Nazi. Oh, crossfield here for the Waratahs. Great hands from Gamble out wide. He's going to be dragged down. Gets his offload on the inside to Max Jorgensen, who gets his second try in this contest. Right. The Waratahs have scored 5 tries. The Reds have scored 2, which now means they have a bonus point for this game, ladies and gents. That's a big one right there. Valentine's Day for one. Hamish, lots of selection out there. Says Ruth, get a pizza. Cold KFC Yummy says Starsy there, but a great pass from Charlie Gamble. He was grounded on the ground, which is why he's grounded. But he was down, lying on the ground, and then popped it up to Max Jorgensen. Jorgo is pretty legit, eh? Big time. Yeah, he's going to be a really handy asset for this Australian side. So my Tahs wingers does nothing, but the other wing does good. Says Highlanders. Yeah, who'd you go with? You went with Jorgensen though, didn't you? Or did you go Harry Potter? Maybe you went Harry Potter in your selection, but that now is another great conversion too. Makes a score 31-12. This game is pretty one-sided, ladies and gentlemen. For a Red side that we're supposed to be close. Has Potter touched the ball like maybe once or twice? He dropped one of them, which probably doesn't help your fantasy points. Now 7 minutes left for the Reds. If they score once, it takes away the Waratahs bonus point. But I would argue, not really, I suck at arguing, but if the Waratahs won by this margin, I think they'd be top of the table by the end of the round. Maybe. Yeah, I'd go with that. I think all the other games will be closer than this one. But they need that bonus point for getting 3 or more than their opposition, or else then it goes a little bit less likely. I think Joseph should be a full-time fullback, says Nazi. Bestie, says Mochi. And gosh, the tipping odds, who knew, would win. And matches will be close, says William. Yeah, the only one of those games that I see maybe having a bit of a runaway would be Fiji and draw in front of the home crowd up against Moana Pacifica, just because Moana haven't had that much time together with all their players switching to different sides. Now, wide cut out pass here for the Waratahs again. The wide channel, that's a high tackle from Lockie Anderson, but I think he was slipping into it. Max is pretty mean, says Starzy. That's a big driving tackle on Suru Uru. Eventually manages to push him down over the sideline. Now step from Tim Ryan, trying to get around Kai Lea. Got the offload away to Fraser McWright. Pops it up to Paisami. The Reds are just a bit stagnant at the moment, though. They're not really going forward. I thought the Blues had a bad team. No, says Highlanders. I mean, they're a pretty decent side on paper, even with the absentees in their side. Same with the Chiefs. That's a big knock on there from the Reds. Max Jorgensen ends up with the ball in hand again and goes for the big kick in behind. He gets the 50-22. And Max Jorgensen now opportunity for the Waratahs to get it going. That is really nicely done by this team. Just absolutely smacks it downfield. The Waratahs, they've got 5 minutes left. Just give Max player of the season already. The park down the road will find you out. Says our underdog pick. And also filleted chicken thigh, pat to dry, add salt and paprika, turmeric. I add egg and sesame oil, hand mixed, then crab flour, half use on half to dry coat. Other 2 wet, coat, heat, oil and fry. What does that give you? I assume KFC, right? Or some basic version of it. This result, meaningful indicator of the Tahs form for the season, you think? Doing it easy now? Honestly, I think they look all right. Other than the handling, their discipline's been good this game for the Waratahs. So, it's a start. And it'll be interesting. Who do they play next week, actually? They've got the late game up against the Drua, I think. That's the 20th of Feb. Yeah, late game up against the Fijian Drua. And then the week after that, I believe they've got a bye. Well, so this is what the Reds have coming up too. They've got the bye this next week coming, and then they will be playing the Highlanders. Little chip attempted in mind by Jack Jabberixini. Another double blow of the whistle here. This looks like Paul Williams might be going to the pocket once more. Oh no, 2 more penalties down this end on another warning here. The Waratahs women called. No, Jason, they are not. And we have got there just stick to shoestring fries. I haven't actually had a shoestring fry in a long time. And I'm kind of sad about it. But I went through a patch where that was the only thing I was cooking in the air fryer. And then from there, I've ventured out a little bit. I mean, getting a bit of chicken and rice going. Getting some bigger cuts of chips. And another chip tip. Always roast 2 whole chickens, not just one. Oh, sorry, another chicken tip. Always roast 2 whole chickens. So why do you roast 2, Samuel? I feel like you could teach me a lot when it comes to cooking. 2 chickens rather than 1. See, in my brain, it's because if one of them's bad, you got the other one. But is it just something to do with like temperature distribution, or is it just like cost effective to have 2 cooking at once rather than just the 1? Now, quickly done, and that is another try to the Waratahs. That's Teddy Wilson. This time who's managed to score it. The Tahs are absolutely dominating here, ladies and gents. Thought it'd be a bit closer than this. So did I. First half, we were only separated by a few points. All the above. Says Samuel. Okay, so you got... Because I guess roast chickens, the one annoying thing about a roast chicken is when you have a roast chicken and there's not that much meat on it. So I guess having 2... Yeah, makes sense. I can guarantee you now on Monday I'm going to buy 2 roast chickens and I'm going to test this. Because he has a guts that needs 2 chickens. Or he's just got a family, Jason. Maybe he's got more people that he has to feed. I thought Tahs. I didn't think there's margin though, says Studs Race. Efficient time of use. Or use of time, says Samuel. Eat with rice, says Sock. And the Tahs didn't think there's margin though. Yeah, I was thinking like Tahs by 5. You know, I thought maybe somewhere around there, but they're just going for it at the moment. Craigton can't add the additional 2, but the score is 36-12. Leah, at your best. Do you like that song, Hamish? It's bad, man. I don't know if I know that song, Nazi. At your best. I don't know if I know it. Tahs by 9. Says BTW Padza. I just tuned in to see the score. Make a nice pie with the leftovers. Oh, I do like a chicken pie. That's one thing that I have a weakness for them. Because if I see a chicken pie, of course, and I'm allowed to, I will then eat it. And I saw them at the supermarket the other day. They had them in the warmer, which was concerning. But still had to try it, just in case. That bench made the difference, says Studs Race. At least we were top of the table for a couple of hours. Says Highlanders fan. Yeah, I think the Waratahs are top of the table at the end of this round. Unless something drastic happens in one of the other games. So they'd have it pretty well secured. When's the next Six Nations game? I believe it's about 3:10 a.m. on Sunday morning New Zealand time. So only about 28 hours away. Oh, another penalty goes the way of the Reds. Now, even if they score now, it does... Oh, okay, almost a quick tap taken. There was almost a man going to the bin there as well. Okay, James Martins, I think, was the one who was having a bit of a push and a shove. Make the pastry with that expensive New Zealand butter. Yeah, it's quite expensive at the moment, isn't it? Oh, yeah. What was it that made butter just skyrocket? Because cheese is a bit the same. Cheese is like $20 a block if you don't buy it on special. But then milk's still not bad. Like, milk could be worse. I think milk's like $5.50 or something for 2 litres. Make us a chopped soy and potato salad. Somehow does that great, says Starzy. It has been requested that we do a cooking stream before. Maybe one day I'll do it. Oh, there's another unplayable situation of the ball, so that will be the end of the game. The Waratahs win it 36 points to 12. Cheers, Hamish. Hopefully see you later on the weekend, says Studs Rays. Air fried chicken party in Waimeri, says Jason. Do you want boiled egg in your potato salad? Says Sock. Would you believe me if I said I've never actually tried a potato salad? I've had a boiled egg, but I've never had a potato salad. I don't know why. I feel like they just haven't had too many opportunities to have one. I've had like potato and gravy. That's probably the closest thing to a potato salad I've had. I've had potatoes. I've had salad, but just not together. Maltese, like 10 boxing South Africa. Says Kyle there. At 4 p.m. Saturday time. In your opinion, did Soili'i play well? He wasn't the best. I'll be honest. Like he did all right. I would probably give him about a maybe 5 out of 10. Might sound harsh, but I don't think he had anything absolutely spectacular. He had that one that almost got him penalised where he led with his knee into a collision, but outside of that, he had an all right game. I don't think he had any magical moments. I think that Max Jorgensen definitely was the busiest back, and also Lawson Creighton under the high ball was phenomenal throughout this game. He'll be a man one day. Potato salad is what makes a man, says Ruby. Dan should have had more TMO calls. Game went by fast. And we have got there, in your opinion, are the Highlanders still underdog? Yes. You can't finish last in the season prior and then all of a sudden become a favourite. You gotta have a few more wins under the belt first before they are considered one of those real contenders. Thanks for the commentary, says yeah, Congo. No worries at all. But yeah, thank you all very much for tuning in. Wait, you haven't had a potato salad? Yeah, never had a potato salad. I guess I know roughly what's in a potato salad. I'll type in potato salad. Potato salad recipe. What do we got? The best potato salad. That looks interesting. That looked like bacon bits or something in it. Dressing hot potatoes with French dressing is the secret. What's French dressing? Plenty of dressing, not overly greasy. What's French dressing? Potato, bacon, cucumber, onion, celery. Is that all a potato salad is? And the dressing. There's Dijon mustard, garlic, sugar, salt and pepper, white oil, and white wine vinegar. And then you can make a creamy dressing too. Sour cream, horseradish cream, salt and pepper, mayonnaise. How many things are in a potato salad? Just give me the potatoes and bacon. I'm a happy boy. This was fun. Take care, all humans, says Nazi. It's potatoes with mayonnaise and eggs, says Kyle. Russian salad, says Samuel. And potatoes are starch. Starch is sugar. It doesn't belong in the human body, says Bruce. Yeah, but it's nice, isn't it? I don't mind a potato. We have there Josh Aiken to score 7 tries tomorrow, says Highlanders fan. If anyone talks stuff about potatoes, I'm a fight, yeah, and I'm part Irish. I saw you last night at the strip club. Did you? Which club? Because we don't have one here. What was last night? Thursday. I was at cricket practice. I didn't even go to the pub either afterwards. I was a good boy. I came home and I started working on some thumbnails and whatnot. I was at the supermarket. So whether or not they do that after hours there, I wouldn't know. But if they do, someone's got to tell me. I feel like a spud. Says the underdog. We have got their Greek, not bad either. An Italian dressing is best. So what's the difference between an Italian dressing and a French dressing? Nice and unhealthy, yeah, but like it's all right. Potatoes are good, aren't they? I love a chip. You must have a twin in Wellington, bro. Do I? Funny you say that, because once when I was younger, you know, like those, was it K-Zone, those magazines that like little magazines that had like a toy in them? There was someone in one of those that looked like me. So maybe it was him. But I don't remember what region the guy was from. But you know how they had like pictures of people in there and they were like, this is someone who reads K-Zone. What time next game, Hamish? Doesn't always notification. So next game for me will be probably about 4:20 tomorrow for Fiji and Roa versus Moana Pacifica. That'll be the next game. Then we got Blues versus Chiefs after that, and then a few games of the Sevens too. Will be on the cards. Love how we're just talking about food. Yeah, the game ended a wee while ago, ladies and gents. 36 points to 12 the end score, but the food chat has continued. I don't know how to address your salads, people, says Samuel. I went to a hometown last night. What's the difference between Team Italy and Team France? Well, you'd think there's a bit of a difference, but they both got wins in the Six Nations, didn't they? But whether or not that's the case this weekend might be a different story. See y'all tomorrow. Much love. You should have got a picture with the fella, although it's probably a bit of a weird place to ask for a picture, isn't it? You need to have a talk with your mum regarding your lookalike. Says Jason. I don't think so. I feel like she'd probably have told me by now if there was. She tells me a lot of stuff, but I tell her a lot of stuff. She knows all this stuff about how YouTube works. She could probably take over for me. She doesn't want to, but she could for a weekend. So if my mum's randomly here, I'm probably out and about. Thanks, Hamish Commentary. Excellent. See you again. Says Ruth. And also we have got there Hamish Italian is more garlic than Greek. Also herbs, basil for Italian, Greek, olive and lemon. And everything in bread, Bruce. Says Stasi. And we have this sweet potato is even worse, laced with oxalates. Says Bruce. And friends have to pop. Italian and Italy have Luigi. Out of 10, how did the Aussies go today? We're talking about the two teams here or the Aussies in the cricket? Because cricket's a whole different story. Big time. But I'd say the Tahs were a solid, probably solid 7. Crazy enough, 36 points, but I'd only give them a 7 for the amount of handling errors that they had. But then at that stage, Waratahs, like they still got the comfortable win. Reds, you could probably only give about a 4. Ill-discipline throughout the match. Maybe it's illegal to have twins in Waimate. My mum is actually a twin, though. So that's not the case. We have got the here, says Samuel. So yeah, I'd say a 7 and a 4. 7 and a 4. I don't know what way around on my sides they are. First game, as in like first game this one or first game the one beforehand, Highlanders Crusaders? Because probably about the same, to be fair. The Crusaders were really poor in that game, but somehow almost won. Joseph Quiet, yeah, he didn't have his biggest game. I'd give probably a Jorgensen 9.5 in this game for what he was able to do. Creighton did very well off the kicking tee, as well as just the work under the high ball. So he was right up there for me as well in terms of man of the match contenders. And then Amato Cero also had a big game from the locking duo in this game for the Tahs. And we have got their great here, mate. So here's our underdog pick. And also we have that Hamish has a new mum. Valentine's Day mum, the fix is in. Yeah, we don't know if that's actually happening though, to be fair. Hey, I'm Mr. Kiwi Sir. I'm at my mum's place now. I'm about to go work my magic. We were just talking about your time. We were just talking about your mother in a respectful way, of course. Someone said that I had a Valentine's Day date set up, but I just don't think it's going to happen. Scotland, I mean, Spain versus Scottish, says Stasi. Jake Gordon. Gordon was all right. Oh, damn, for real? Says Ty, yeah, literally about 30 seconds before you arrived, it just got mentioned. But yeah, I give Gordon was solid enough. 6 or 7 maybe, somewhere around there. Like he did his job in this case. Yeah, he didn't have any of those sniping runs like he had near the end of last year, but he's still solid enough. I'm a forcer to DM you. Watch me. I'll keep everyone updated, but I highly doubt I'm going to receive a DM from your mother at any stage over the weekend, because I still don't think she knows she surely doesn't know the channel that well. And Ty, you started the fire. It'll be like, Mum, here's 80k subs on YouTube. You can't say, do we? How many subs? I'm terrible at following like numbers. You're gonna have to tell her we're only on 78,000, because or else then she's gonna think that you're overhyping me a little bit. Yeah, bro, I was watching Panthers Cowboys game while listening to Hamish. Awesome commentary. Sorry, Hamish. Says Nazi. I thought I was going. Says Nazi there. And I'll say, cheers, Ruby. I'll see what I can come up with. I was just worth mega bucks. Says Ruth. Same thing says Taiwan. And there as well. But nonetheless, ladies and gents, it is currently 11:34 p.m. here in New Zealand. Happy cooking. Make sure a slow cook casseroles for when you finish a stream. It's actually a good idea. And I've never thought far enough ahead to do that, so I'll end up just having toast or something in between a stream or an apple. But when we have, like tomorrow, we've got the Super Rugby games, we've got the sevens all throughout the night with the Six Nations. Maybe I should have been a bit more strategic and like had something slowly going. Can your mum teach him the ins and out of using an air fryer? Yeah, does she know how to use an air fryer, Ty? Because I have no idea. Like, I kind of know now because Samuel gave me some good tips about preheating and whatnot. I say, how long do we have to wait for you? Says Ruby. How long do we have to wait for you? For me to do what? Like to be back for the next stream? Of course you can, says Ty. Well, perfect. She's using it as we speak. And I would have said you basically have 100k, but that's pushing it a little bit. That's a little bit, isn't it? We're one day going to get there, hopefully. I just have a feeling, though, that as soon as we get there, like the week prior to it, they're going to take away the YouTube silver plaques. So then we'll miss out on one, but we'll make our own. She's making me chicken strips. Is she actually? Because we were talking about chicken strips earlier on in the stream, and that was what I couldn't cook in the air fryer. So either you've been listening to this stream, or that's it's a very weird coincidence. And I feel like it's got to be the first one. There's, of course, the next stream. So yeah, next stream is taking place in around 17 hours, somewhere around there. Will be 5:30 a.m. for you guys in South African time. She is making me chicken strips. Well, there you go. Everyone loves a few chicken strips. But, yeah, the Kiwi lads, I think I put it in because you asked for the link earlier. I was on the road the whole time, wishing you a great rest. You're like with Ty's nudge, nudge, wink, wink, mother. And when does cry and chicken strips, something is wrong. When doves cry and chicken strips. Oh, okay, no, I get it. I get you. But, yeah, nonetheless, thank you all very much for tuning in. And yeah, tomorrow we've got Super Rugby coming back. I might actually schedule those streams soon, just because, or else I might have to do it early on in the morning before getting up for the cricket. So yeah, I think I'll do that within the next 30 minutes or so. So keep an eye out for those streams. Then from there, we'll be adding more and more streams as the day goes on. 17 hours, 5 p.m. tomorrow, Hamish, Cape Town. So it will be 4:30 p.m. New Zealand time. But 5:30 a.m. South African time. His mum will don't say that, Jason. That's his mother you're talking about. And I'm going to be here early tomorrow morning. Says Taiwan. It's at 5 a.m. South African time. Yeah, just after 5 a.m. So 5:20 a.m. Somewhere around there is when we're going to be live next. Adios, Amish, to our legend, says Ruby. So yeah, nonetheless, thank you all very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. I will see you all for the next one.